Alastor X Listener. Hidden secret. Alastor always knew when something was off. It wasn't because of the radio static or the humming. It was when you entered the room. The shadows leaned closer to listen when you spoke, it seemed. It wasn't even because of the way you flinched, just slightly when he asked how your day had been. No, it was because you had started lying. Not badly, never badly. You were too far clever for that, his clever, smart girl. But you were omitting things, stepping things to the side and offering answers that were just a beat too quick, a smile a touch too rehearsed. And Alastor, the radio demon, noticed everything, of course. You were his daughter, and in everything, in blood. Well, maybe everything but blood. He'd found you years ago, frightened and sharp-eyed, surviving hell with a grin that didn't quite hide the fear underneath. He'd taken you in the same way he took in wayward souls, decisively, possessively, and with a voice that never seemed to raise above a pleasant tilt. He had taught you how to survive. He'd taught you how to smile while threatening, how to listen without appearing to. When you began to hide something, it set his teeth on edge. It happened one evening in the Hazbin hotel lobby. You were perched on the arm of a chair, boots swinging, radio softly playing from Alastor's microphone as he read that absolutely nothing on the paper did not contain current news. You were texting, something you did often enough, but this time, when he glanced over, you angled the screen away. Subtle, but not subtle enough. "My dear," Alastor said, folding the paper with a crisp snap. "You've been rather distracted lately." You started. "Oh, huh? No, I'm fine." His smile didn't change, but the static crackled. "You've been smiling at that little device quite fondly. One might assume it's whispering sweet nothings to reassure you." Your face warmed. "It's nothing." Ah, there it was. Alastor stood, smoothing his coat, strolling with unhurried steps. Shadows curled at his feet, curious. "You know," he said, conversationally, "I've always encouraged a bit of honesty between us. Transparency, and it's the cornerstone of any healthy arrangement." "I know," you said quickly, too quickly. "I just didn't think it mattered." Alastor stopped in front of you. He didn't lean, he didn't loom. That would be crude. Instead, he tilted his head, red eyes gleaming with something sharp beneath his cheer. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Why, it doesn't matter." Silence stretched. You swallowed. "I've been seeing someone." The words landed like a needle drop. The radio cut out. Static screamed for just a second before Alastor clamped it down with sheer force. His smile widened, frozen in place like a porcelain about to crack. "Seeing someone," he repeated pleasantly. You nodded. "Yeah, for a while now." "How long is a while, my dear?" he asked. You hesitated. "A few months." Months. Months of secret smiles, months of divided attention, months of someone else hearing your laughter. Alastor clamped his hands behind his back. "How fascinating," he said, and here I was under the delightful illusion that I knew every importance of your life. "I didn't hide it because I was scared," you said quickly. "I just didn't want you to react." "React?" He chuckled softly, though the shadows twisted. "Oh, nonsense, I'm perfectly capable of reasonable responses." You gave him a look that said, "Be serious." His grin sharpened. "So," he continued, voice smooth as a radio mid-host. "Who is he?" Your shoulders stiffened. "I'm not telling you that." Well, that was new. The room darkened. Not dramatically, not enough to alarm anyone else, but enough that you felt it. Alastor stepped closer, gaze level with yours. "I beg your pardon?" he asked. "You don't get to know everything," you said, steady despite the fear curdling in your gut. "Not yet. You haven't even met him." Haven't met him, as if that was enough to reassure him. Alastor laughed, truly laughed, a warm, charming sound that echoed in the wrong space. "Oh, my dear, sweet girl," he said, leaning down just enough so that you could see your reflection in his eyes. "You speak as though me meeting him is optional." You crossed your arms. "This is my life, and I am delighted you have one," he replied sweetly. "I simply wish that it remains intact." You exhale. "He's good to me." The static surged. "He makes you laugh." "Yes," you answered. "He touches you?" Your face burned. "That's none of your business." Alastor's smile never wavered, but something feral flickered behind it. "Everything that affects you is my business." You stood, suddenly angry. "You don't own me." The words hung heavy. For a moment, Alastor said nothing. Then slowly he straightened, adjusting his coat, the tension in the room easing for a fraction. "No," he said, "I do not." Relief flickered your chest. "But," he continued, voice dripping, radio hum returning low in ambiness, "I did raise you, I protected you, I watched hell try to devour you whole, and I made sure it failed." He crouched down, bringing himself to your eye level. "So forgive me if I have some idea of an unknown individual inserting himself in your world seems to upset me." You swallowed. "I'm happy." That more than anything made him pause. He searched her face for lies. He would have heard those, but for cracks, for fear, for anything, and he found none. "Very well," he said at last, standing. "I won't pry for now." Your shoulders relaxed. "Thank you. But," he added, raising one finger, "should this little young man cause you pain, should he break your heart or disrespect you, or so much as raise his voice," his shadows behind him grinned, "I will know." He managed a small smile. "I figured." He softened. "After all, my dear, nobody loves you more fiercely than I do." The radio hummed warmly again, somewhere far away. A boy who didn't even know he was being evaluated yet felt a chill crawl up his spine.